to the Dead Squad Alex Brown Show. We're live here at the Tilted Kilt at 447 North Milwaukee in Vernon Hills, along with our guy,
the nondescript white guy.
The nondescript white guy, or the puppet, or the mascot.
All the above.
You guys want to call.
I'm so sad.
We have a very special guest in the house tonight. We got Mr. Hitman Harris here with us. How you doing, Hitman?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
And if y'all want to get in on the show, y'all can call 773-382-8732. And let's get right into it, gentlemen.
Let's do it.
Get to Mr. Chris Harris. Yes. Chris, I did not know you had a twin brother. I thought I was your twin brother.
Okay, everybody in the crowd, do these two look alike? Do you think these two are brothers?
Can everybody in the crowd see how me and Chris Harris kind of get mixed up?
Somewhat.
A little bit? No? I couldn't either.
But every game day, I was like, hey, Dad, can I get an autograph?
It's like, Chris. I'm like, Chris is number 46, and I'm 3 inches taller than Chris. So, my bad, Chris. My bad, Chris. I didn't mean it like that, but. All right, Chris, you had 2 stints here with the Chicago Bears. And both times you were either traded or released, it seemed like it was an awkward situation. Why? What was the reason you got released this year? Because, we always on Twitter, and, I was the guy, they shouldn't release Chris. Chris is a good team guy. Chris is a good player. Chris is a good citizen for this team. Why did that happen?
That's a great question.
I think he let down the bowling squad.
Oh, man. I probably was a little too outspoken. I'll say that. I might have been a little too outspoken.
Are you trying to say the NFL is politically correct?
For what happened, how everything went down. I was one that didn't hold my tongue, and I don't think that set well with...
Well, for people who don't know what was happening, because I don't know what was happening that you were speaking out about.
Well, started first game, got injured, missed the next 3, came back against Detroit, was still a little injured but came back. That's no excuse. If you step on the field, you're capable of playing. Didn't play great, got benched. On top of getting benched, was inactive. So that didn't sit well with me. Going from being the starter to being benched, okay, I handle it. I'm a big boy. It is what it is. Let's move on. But to be inactive was kind of like...
That was a slap in the face.
It was. And so to be inactive, it didn't sit well. So then I asked for a trade one day before trade deadline. I don't think that sat well with them. I was asked something in the media, and I stated my opinion. I stated my honest opinion. I don't think that set well with them.
Right.
And I came back, started the next game in London, and then was released. So I think my outspokenness, my honesty kind of led to my release.
Because I know it was some people asking, did your you tweet all the time, did that have something to do with it? And I would tell people, no, I don't think that these guys pay that much attention to that unless it makes the news. So for the people who was wondering about, well, was it because Chris Harris was on Twitter too much? Can you address that?
Yeah, I don't think it's because of my Twitter. I just think it was my how outspoken I was about the situation, about how things were going down, and me speaking my mind. I don't think that set well upstairs, honestly, in my opinion.
All right, so you get released, but for you, that was like a vertical move.
Absolutely.
Because you went to a playoff team. You got an extra check.
Absolutely.
You got an extra check.
I got released the next day, not even 24 hours later. Detroit Lions claimed me off of waivers. I go to Detroit. I had left to go to Little Rock for the bye week, and I didn't even get the chance to enjoy it. So they called me the very next day, so I'm flying out to Detroit. I'm in Detroit at midnight that night. And spent the rest of the season with them. Ended up starting 5 games out there. We go to the playoffs 10-6. It was the first time that Detroit had a winning season since '99.
Yeah, and it seems like centuries
in this decade.
ago.
Yeah.
You when you left here though, I mean, just talking about that playoff team, like the Bears are in good shape.
Oh, absolutely.
They're in good shape.
When you left, they went downhill.
It wasn't like, and I'm telling you, like he's left twice. He left after those 6 years. And it went downhill. Now, if I'm speaking to the new management that's coming in, if you get Chris Harris, please keep him. You might have 2 good years.
Man,
Shoot.
You know, it was unfortunate what happened with Jay, and then to add a little salt to the wound, you know, Matt getting hurt.
Right.
I think them losing Jay was detrimental to that organization because they were playing exceptional football. They were playing great football.
Yeah, at that time it was one of the better teams in the league at the time when they was on that 5-game winning streak.
And in Detroit, we were battling them for the number 2 spot for the 5th, 6th seed in the playoffs.
Right.
And when Jay went down, I think they lost 5 straight.
Yes.
5 straight.
I think they lost 5 straight, and that was You got to have Jay. I mean, he makes that engine run.
You have to.
He's the straw that stirs the drink.
Oh,
as one famous baseball player said.
Yes. Would you have thought that they would have went downhill so fast without Jay? Everybody here thought that Caleb Haney could do it.
Right, but, you know, he showed a lot of promise in the NFC Championship game, you know, when he came in.
But did he really? That's my question.
But
he threw an interception that went back for a touchdown.
He did.
He threw another interception. He threw 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions.
I agree with you, but he brought that game back within 1 score. And I think, you know, pressing, trying to make a play at the end of that game in the NFC Championship game, he was like, I mean, we got to make a play. We got to try to tie this game up. And it wasn't much time left on the clock. You know, he was trying to put a game time drive together. Unfortunately, he threw the interception, but I think he showed promise in that NFC Championship game, considering the conditions. He didn't get any work during the week because Ty Collins was the number 2 quarterback. Right. So Ty gets in, he doesn't do well.
During the headlights.
So he was Aaron Rodgers all week.
That's 2 quarterbacks that didn't do well.
Right. So what Caleb was doing, he was running scout team for the defense.
Right.
He wasn't seeing any reps in practice. Todd and Jay were getting those reps. Mm-hmm. So for a guy to come in not getting any reps, I thought it
was impressive.
Did well.
That was Green Bay though. We're talking, you know, you move forward to the calendar year. How did Caleb look and fare from somebody who may have faced him when he was taking, you know, the reps in training camp? In practice, when he would get that number 2 rep,
he looked okay. You know, I mean, I thought he was progressing.
But a guy that is ready to step in and lead a playoff team.
I didn't expect him to play the way he played when he came in.
I don't think anybody did.
When he got in, you know.
If they did, then I'm pretty sure they should be fired too. If they expected him to play that way,
right,
and they still kept him, that's a problem.
It's very similar to the Colt. I hate to interject this, but this has been on my mind. As soon as Jim Irsay was terminated in Indianapolis, everybody here in Chicago was like, bring him here to Chicago. Their main quarterback goes down. The guy he had for years on the bench, never had to do anything, steps in and
nothing.
Matt Painter.
They didn't have him.
They had Painter for a couple years.
But they had Sorgi.
Yeah,
Sorgi was the guy behind Peyton, and they didn't have a backup plan.
Right. And that's what happened.
All the eggs were in one basket with Peyton, and
is that now those are the type of systems. You can put a good quarterback in a system and it works. You can put Peyton Manning in a system and let him call his own plays, and your system works. But then I think we saw the type of system that Indy has without Peyton Manning, and that's not much of a system at all.
No.
Because he called
he makes the system run.
Right. It's his system. That's what he does it. So, I don't know. The kids, I thought he proved his value, and if they get rid of him for luck, I think they're nuts.
No, I don't think they're going to do that.
No, they can't do that.
You listen to the Dead Spark Alex Brown show here at 447 North Milwaukee Avenue at the Tilted Kilt. We'd love for you to come down. If you want to get in on the conversation, you could dial 773-382-8732. Got Mr. Hitman Harris with us today. And because I know everybody always wondering, they see this Bears organization and they wonder how our other organizations ran. Your short time in Detroit, can you compare and contrast what type of things was the same and what type of things was different? What type of things was better here compared to Detroit? Or what type of things was vice versa better than Detroit?
Prefaces. Remember, being outspoken got you in trouble before. You might want to put the answer here.
No,
just letting
you know.
Right.
I like the Detroit organization. Martin Mayhew, I think he's a great GM. He's an ex-player, so I mean he kind of knows what's going on. He's been in the situation after he played 9 years in the league, so I mean he's a guy that knows. He's been to a Super Bowl.
So are you saying we need to get a GM that played before and
No,
will be better?
I'm not saying you need a GM that's played before.
I was just saying.
Why, are you volunteering for the job?
No.
All right.
But he's been on both sides, so I think he has somewhat of advantage possibly, being on the player side and then being on the business side, on the GM side. So kind of knowing what's going on. They're straight shooters. I mean, straight shooters. They're gonna tell you what it is. If you're playing well, they're gonna say, "Hey, you're playing well." If you're playing bad, they're gonna look you right in your eyes and say, "You're playing terrible."
But if you're playing terrible, they have a problem with sitting you down?
They have no problem sitting you down. If you're playing terrible, you coming out the game.
What if you weren't there long enough to see a draft class come in? Not yet. But down in New Orleans, what I saw a draft class come in. If you weren't performing, they could care less if you're a third-round pick. They're going to take the free agent that they got. Okay, we made a mistake. They'll admit that as opposed to waiting 2 years and then saying, you know what, we made a mistake on that guy.
And redshirting people.
Right, redshirting that guy. Because this is the NFL. You don't redshirt people.
Right, right. I haven't been there long enough to see it, but just from what I've seen, if you're not playing well, if you're not cutting it, they're going to get the next guy in there.
Right.
And they're going to put the person out there that they feel gives them the best chance to win right then and there.
I was over there, and it was great. I love Schwartz. Schwartz is a cool dude, man.
We got a question from...
I'm going to kind of pose the question that you're talking about here. All things being equal, Chris, if Chicago hires a new GM and both Detroit and Chicago make you very nice competing offers, where do you go? Where do you go?
I want to put my foot in my mouth.
You have the fifth.
I do.
It might be somebody
would you be open to coming back to Chicago, even though Lovey's still here? Was that bridge burned?
You know what? I left on good terms with Lovey, I think. I feel I did. You know, we had a pretty good conversation when I left, when I got released. So, I mean, no bridges were burned, and that's one thing I've learned, that you don't burn bridges in this organization. That could be career suicide.
And because he's going to go back and tell somebody else is going to tell somebody else is going to tell somebody else.
So one thing you don't do is burn bridges. So, you know, I'm open to go anywhere that wants me, that feel I can come in and help their team play.
And that's going to pay you.
And that's going to pay me, yeah.
Because you are a free agent this year.
I am a free agent.
He's a free agent, but he doesn't play for free.
Isn't it ironic the term is free?
No, not ironic at all.
Free agent.
He gets to choose wherever he wants to go.
The last thing that you are is
not
free.
Right.
Well, hey, we want to say we appreciate you coming on tonight, spending
thanks a lot.
20, 30 minutes with us. And
I appreciate it.
Digging in a little bit. We asked some tough questions, but...
who you got this weekend?
Yeah.
Please tell us.
All right, my picks. I'm definitely.
I know you're not going with Tebow.
I'm not taking Tebow.
Oh, man.
Man.
All right, I'll go one at a time.
Come on.
Patriots, Broncos.
I'm taking Patriots, and
even with the points.
Even with the points.
13 points.
I'm taking the Patriots.
Wow. You're taking Brady's boys.
Saints, 49ers.
Ravens. Now he's saying the AFC. Ravens, Texans.
I think this is a time for the Ravens. You know, I'm going with the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens.
This is the first time they've had home field in a long time. Every time they have to go on the road.
I think that defense will show up regardless if Flacco plays well or not.
Ravens usually go on the road in the playoffs.
Yeah, they do. They've always.
John Harbaugh here.
They haven't had a home game.
Short to the Steelers and not win the division, so they're always.
But the Steelers aren't in it anymore. You know why?
Oh, okay. All right, let's cross conferences. Let's go NFC.
I'm just saying.
Green Bay hosting the New York Giants. Eli versus Aaron Rodgers. Two former MVP, Super Bowl MVPs going head to head.
I'm taking the Giants, the New York Giants.
Really?
Yes, I am.
You're going the Giants.
I'm taking the Giants.
Interesting.
I'm calling it upset.
All right, and finally,
I might not pick that pick, but
the contest, which I think is kind of a microcosm of the season: defense versus offense. The 49ers versus the Saints. Who do you got?
I'm taking the 49ers.
Really?
Yep.
At home.
I hate your picks.
Saints, yeah.
I hate your NFC picks.
49ers and Giants in the NFC Championship
I think
game.
one has some merit. I'm not sure about the other one.
Right.
I like defense better than I like offense.
Oh, well, really?
But with Drew Brees leading this offense, boy, it's scary. I don't know.
It is. It is. I mean, when we played them last week, you saw we were leading 14-10 at halftime. I mean, we had to lead 14-10, and
they had 2 turnovers. You guys had none.
Right.
You guys had opportunities where I thought that you guys should have.
We had opportunities on defense. We
got
had
some bad calls on the fumble. The fumble should have been a touchdown.
Correct.
It should have been a touchdown. Well, you got some bad stuff happen to you.
We did, but
you knew they was going to score more than 10 points.
We didn't help ourselves on defense.
No.
We had a busted coverage one.
Oh yeah.
That was bad.
Down the left side. That was awful.
It got bad.
Pump. You know he gonna pump, and he gonna come back the other way.
It got bad in the second half for us, but I mean we had our chances. We definitely had our chances.
You know what?
How does he do the pump again? Can I see that again?
Pump.
He do his shoulder.
You didn't look real manly. You didn't look real manly doing that.
But that's how he does it. I'm telling you.
What is that?
I saw it at practice firsthand. That's how the kid does it.
Demonstrate it again?
No.
Demonstrate it again? Yes.
He's like this, and then he comes back.
And he pumps 3 times like this.
Watch it.
3 times?
Watch it.
Is it 3 times?
It's just one.
So why was you doing it 3 times?
Well, you
I
do
was
the
actually,
sprinkle.
those last 2 times, just trying to scoop my chair over here.
Alex is trying to show off his moves for Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
He's auditioning.
Hey, you know what? I thought your defensive line had a rough time that game.
Oh, those two guards for
they're
New Orleans.
men.
Yes.
They're men. And that tackle, I mean, he made the Pro Bowl this year. I don't think there were many tackles out there to compete with him for the Pro Bowl. I think he's okay. I don't think
it was 32 other ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there's 32 other ones. There was one here. There was one in Chicago, but was there one in Chicago? He was holding a position. That's what he was doing. He's awful. So, no, but I think they let you guys down a lot. I mean, I respect the heck out of the defensive line, and I thought that the only 2 teams that could beat the Green Bay Packers were Detroit or the
New
Giants.
Orleans. And you did
or
say
the Giants. I
said
said the Giants or Detroit.
So you don't think the Saints can take down
He
Green
said
Bay?
no. Last week
they won't.
I just want to make sure he's on the record twice now with that.
But he flip-flops.
I'm not going to flip
If that happens to be the NFC matchup, I don't think New Orleans can go to Green Bay.
Their defense will let them down
in January.
But why wouldn't New Orleans be able to go in and beat a Green Bay? I don't think they will.
In my opinion, they're a dumb team.
One cold weather.
Now, if it was the other way around, if Green Bay was having to go to New Orleans, I would pick New Orleans. But with New Orleans having to, now when we talking if, I ain't even got New Orleans in the NFC Championship game, and I don't have Green Bay in the NFC Championship game. But if it
don't
was
bet nothing on that.
Look, man. New York is playing good football right now. And
don't bet nothing on that.
Perry has them boys playing. They've been terrible on defense. But over these past 2 weeks, they've been playing great defensive football. You saw what they did against Atlanta, and you saw what they did against Dallas. I mean, the defense has been coming to play.
But those 2 teams, the Green Bay Packers are going to pose a serious threat than those 2 teams that they couldn't pose that threat.
I think it's going to be ball control. You saw New York run the ball well. They hadn't been averaging over 100 yards all season long. They came in, they got, I forget how many, they had 1 something this past game. If they can get that ground game going.
Right.
Green Bay has the worst defense in the league.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. They have the worst. They've given up the most points of any defense ever in the history of the NFL.
Okay.
All right. Who are the top 3 point giver-uppers defensive-wise?
I know Green Bay's number 1.
I know who the other 2 are. That's my message.
New England.
New England.
I mean, that Tebow, I'm telling you.
It's not Tebow, but New England gives up a lot of points.
No, I'm saying Tebow plays against them.
I'm hitting you. Who's the other answer?
Saints.
Is it the Saints?
It is the New Orleans Saints.
With points, yeah. Okay,
Points
I knew
scored
I knew
against.
they were like
Points
24th or 25th in total defense, but I wasn't sure about the
points scored. I do believe it's the top 3.
But see, I know why they do it, because they'll go man coverage.
The thing is
they go zero coverage.
No, what it is they're very opportunistic. They know they have a juggernaut of an offense.
Right.
So they know they can gamble. They can go out there and gamble all they want to make plays. They'll give up a touchdown to get an interception. Because I have Drew Brees. I have
give up a touchdown to get an interception.
Listen to me. Listen to me. It makes a lot of sense when you.
I'm gonna give up 6 and I'm gonna get an interception with no guarantees I'm gonna score.
When you play for Green Bay and when you play for New Orleans, teams that are putting up 35, 40 points a game, your defense can't afford to give up 30, 35 points because your offense can go put up 45 at any given time.
Right. So I understand that part.
So as a defense,
into it now, boys.
So as a defense, you're very opportunistic. I'm gonna gamble. I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna undercut this route because I think I can get my hands on it. Oh, I don't get my hands on it, it goes for a touchdown. Oh well, my offense is about to bail me out because I have the best offense in the National Football League.
Right.
That's what I mean when I say that.
Okay.
So they're
that's a better explanation for me.
So what I'm saying is those defenses are very opportunistic.
Right.
But both of them. Because if you look at Green Bay, they give up a lot of points, a lot of touchdowns, but they're up in the top 5 in turnovers.
Desmond, you seem real bothered by that. So you want a defense, if a guy runs a slant on you 10 times in a row, let him catch it and you tackle it?
I did not say that.
I'm going to jump it.
I'm jumping
I did not say that. What he said
kill me
was
slowly?
we would give up a touchdown
yes.
to get an interception.
That's what I mean.
Okay, you got to try one.
They're more aggressive on defense, knowing the offense can
I
bail them
understand
out.
being more aggressive.
That tendency says, okay, we run in-breaking routes. So I'm going to sit inside, and when you get ready to break, I'm going to jump
I like
it. If you
the
hit
Lovey
me,
defense.
If you hit me with a double move, if you hit me with a double move, oh well, you got me. My offense got to bail me out.
Give me Lovey Smith's defense and keep everything in front.
The boys will be boys.
Yes, that's true.
Keep everything in front.
Well,
you be my cover 2 safety. Keep everything in front of you. No big plays. That's how I like it.
I understand.
And hold on.
It works. We went to the Super Bowl with it. It works. It definitely works.
Speaking of turnovers, which team in the NFL over the last 7 years lead in turnovers?
Chicago Bears.
The Chicago Bears.
Yes.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
give me the cover 2. Give me Lovey's defense.
Well, they
keep
got
everything in front of you.
Peanut got like 30.
That's cool. And give me a peanut on that.
We're not calling him Peanut. I thought we were calling him the stripper.
Yeah, the stripper.
The stripper is what I thought we were calling him.
He's the stripper, yes.
Charles the Stripper Tillman.
The stripper Tillman.
He definitely got a strip club open.
Whoa. I wasn't saying all
We
that.
didn't say strip club. We said the stripper.
The stripper. You listen to the Dennis Clark Alex Brown Show, located here at the Tilted Kilt in Vernon Hills at 447 North Milwaukee. Come on down and join us. You can call in to the show at 773-382-8732. We got Chris Hitman Harris, the former Bear and current free agent right now. Just came off a playoff run with the Detroit Lions.
Short, but it was a playoff run.
It was about 17 games longer than you had.
I mean, it was like a playoff for Skip.
Look, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back.
17
talk
games
more Bears
this year
football.
than you
We got
played.
to talk about Mike Tyson becoming the OC. Does Levy have too much power? And who are these GM candidates that we're going to be interviewing?
I think a lot of people are scratching their heads on a few of them.
We'll get back to that as soon as we come back on the Des Clark Alex Brown Show, along with our Nondescript mascot, white guy over here.
And there he is.
There he is.
Welcome back to the Des Clark Show, Des Clark and Alex Brown Show. Like we said last week, we just call it our damn show.
Yeah, it'll be our damn show.
So I don't mess up anymore. We're just gonna call it our show, and we'll include you into that also.
Okay.
It's just our show.
He feels left out right now.
No, not to be saying our. He can
It's our. But what we need to do, because usually Chris is not here. We need to switch up this seating arrangement and put you in the middle and make an Oreo.
But see, that'll be funny though. That'll be funny. Everybody will see that, and they kind of expect that to happen.
You know when we had a show here about a few weeks ago, we had Jeff Dickerson, JD from ESPN. Yeah. He was on the end, and I was on the other end, and we were more like a double burger.
A double burger, two white buns.
The white buns on the outside.
I got it.
You're the double stack.
Hey, let's get into some football talk. Mike Tyson was just named the offensive coordinator last week.
But not 100%.
Yes, and this is the problem that I have with this whole move.
He's the running coordinator.
I don't see Mike Tyson being a play caller.
It's happened.
He has called plays in Minnesota before.
He was a head coach, but he didn't call the plays.
He has called plays before, though.
But they're supposed to be bringing in a passing game coordinator, right?
Coordinator,
and that's the part that I don't understand.
And they're interviewing a few guys on that.
Well, it's gonna be like, okay, Lovey's like, okay, I want to pass the ball here.
Okay,
so then
let's
the passing ball. So the
coordinator.
passing coordinator is like, oh no, I want to run the ball here. So
can you imagine? You got like Tyson, whoever that hire, like duking in no run, no pass. It's like Rock'em Sock'em Robots each play.
They better bring somebody that's big and tough to fight with him.
So Tyson's not a small guy. He's almost as big as Mike Tyson.
Find an offensive coordinator. That's what you do. I don't. It's just typical Chicago Bear to me. I don't find a damn offensive coordinator that can do it all and call the right play. Now you're gonna have more. Okay, I'm gonna call it now. You're gonna have more delay of games. You're gonna have more confusion on the offense than ever before.
You're gonna have Jay out there looking like this.
and then he gonna cut somebody out the second game of the week. You know, because it's just.
So the thing is,
can't do
who
it.
calls in the play to Jay then? Because you can't have two separate people
They're
talking
gonna
on a
talk
mic
to each other. They're gonna decide: do we need a run or a
And then
pass?
with 5
But
seconds
I'm
on the
saying,
clock,
who
they'll
does the
radio in.
communication?
This is how it's going to work.
It's not going to be Caleb Haney.
This is how it's going to work. Whoever the quarterback coach is going to be the offensive the passing coordinator. He's going to be the guy that talks to Jay because he's going to be Jay's quarterback coach also.
And Greg Olson was in town interviewing for that today.
Greg Olson, the coach.
Yeah, the
Greg
coach.
Olson, the tight end.
Tampa Bay.
We're
the
bringing
coach.
Greg Olson, the tight end, to be Jay's quarterback coach.
Yeah, and he's going to call it in. And what's going to happen is Jay's going to go, I can't hear you. And he's going to call his own play.
And he's going to be,
And you know what? That might actually be better. I don't know.
if you can read my lips, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
He gonna be real mad.
Because between the two of them, they're going to try to figure out who's going to radio in the play. 15 seconds will be gone. By the time he gets in the huddle and tells the play, we're running down the clock. I feel like the first few games of next year with all this set up, we are going to burn through our timeouts so quick. We're going to have so many delay game penalties, and then there's going to be so much confusion. It just seems odd. I don't know another team, and maybe I'm wrong. Is there another team that has this?
There's other teams.
Name one and how are they working? Are they in the playoffs? Anybody in the playoffs right now? Give me a playoff team.
Isn't it?
Give me a playoff team that has a run coordinator and a passing coordinator. And that's my talk.
Yeah, keep thinking.
Sperano, where's he?
He was in Miami.
He's now going to New York. He just got hired to be the offensive coordinator for the Jets.
New York?
You're going to the Jets.
Schottenheimer was let go.
He's going to be. I think they're actually talking about doing it.
At least you know
they have a
probably be more
run
balanced.
coordinator and a pass coordinator. I think the Jets are actually talking about doing
This is a question that I have. What scheme are we going to run?
I don't know. I think love it. I know getting off the bus running is long gone.
No, it's not. Not with Tice as offensive coordinator.
Well, Tice is not offensive coordinator.
He is the running coordinator.
Yes, he is.
He is the offensive coordinator.
He's the offensive coordinator, but
He has to be the one to call the shots for him to be in control of the offense. If he has somebody else there that can argue with him, well, we should throw a pass because they think we're going to run. Well, we should run.
Well, okay.
But,
Let's just say Mike Martz was the offense coordinator, and they argued all the time, but he called the plays.
Mike Martz's whole system, when he got here, we all knew his philosophy. You know this guy hates to run. So why bring him to a place
when you get off the bus running?
Yeah, when you get off the bus running. You shouldn't even brought him here. I think that was Lovey's fault. That was his guy. That was his fault. He should take all the heat for that.
Well, you know what they could do to decide the plays is they could bring an order of these amazing sweet potato fries in.
Yeah,
and
talking about the Alex order for us every week.
Come out to the Tilted Kilt, get the sweet potato fries.
They're awesome.
And we can put them in someone's mouth like, oh, we're not going to call class. Here, have a sweet potato fry. And then they won't be able to communicate it, and they got it. Tilted Kilt.
You're going to get those right here at the Tilted Kilt.
That's it.
But while we're talking about Levy, did this organization just hand Levy over the keys to the car and say to him, you are driving this car? Does he have all the power right now to make the decisions throughout the organization right now? Is that too much power for Levy?
Ooh, I think he got the keys to the rental car right now.
The rental car?
Yeah, he's renting it right now. He know that he got to return it. He know that he got to return it.
I like where you're going at.
He has the keys to the rental. He has a rental car right now.
And I say that because he's on a 1-year deal.
Well, no, he's technically at 2, but nobody lets him go into the last year usually.
He's going to have to.
2013. He's 2013.
He's going to have to make this work, regardless of what talent he gets, regardless of what GM they pick for him to work under.
He's picking the GM.
He's not picking the GM. He's in the room.
He is picking the GM.
He's in the room. He's not picking the GM.
They did this in Green Bay. Mike Sherman, I believe, was the head coach of Green Bay. He was 1 year left on his deal. And it just didn't work out. They brought in a GM who was stuck with the head coach, and sure enough, now Sherman is more likely the candidate to be down in Tampa after coming back around. But the past situations where you bring in a GM where a coach is already there, it just doesn't work out.
Let me ask you this, Chris.
Oh, no, man.
Let me ask you
Name me a time it did. I can give you examples where it doesn't. When you have a coach already in place and you bring in a GM, that just doesn't work out.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
Yes. 1,000, 2,000.
I was going to ask Chris this.
All right.
You two is having your own conversation over here.
Sorry.
And that happens often.
You want to go see Buddy
Chris, the win-loss record that Levy has right now, does it warrant him getting this much power of a team? And before you start, I'll give you his win-loss record.
Yeah, give me his win-loss record.
.555, so he won 55% of his games.
I would say, yeah. I mean, obviously the guy knows what he's doing. He took over a team that wasn't very good. They didn't do well in 04, 05, 06.
03.
03.
That was because he was like one of the main cogs of the team.
Oh, 03?
Right. No, Lovey got here in 04, right?
Yeah, but it was a terrible team because he was like one of the main players.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
But somehow he turned Alex around. He turned Alex
did.
around.
I lost 30 pounds. Yeah.
In 03, we were
Yeah.
I lost 30 pounds.
He wanted you leave. He wanted you leave. So
30 pounds of ego.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, I think Lovey's done a good job with what he's had. 05 we come in, 04 we came in, or whether I'm not sure what the record was in 04, but then 05
Terrible. 5 and
11 and 5, 06 13 and 3 Super Bowl appearance.
Yep.
3 down years.
And then what?
3
7,
down
8,
years.
9 wasn't too great.
Do you feel that it's been more of a Lovey did great with what he had, or he didn't work well with the GM in order to bring the right talent? Because, I mean, everybody says he's never really had the talent. I mean, give me a wide receiver that played for the Bears.
Who cares?
Bernard
Who's
Berry.
a receiver that's played for the Bears in the
Okay,
last
one that's
30 years.
good.
Willie Gault?
Yeah, that was 83.
Marty
Like,
Booker.
okay. Stop it.
Marty Booker.
No, not Marty
He was
Booker.
Pro Bowler.
Hey,
Booker made
hush
the
him
Pro Bowl
out.
because they
Louisiana
Pro Bowl.
Monroe. Louisiana
Yes.
Monroe product.
Okay.
Louisiana Monroe product.
True.
Hush him
True.
out.
But let's understand why he made the Pro Bowl. Because they threw the ball to him every play. Every pass play, they threw the ball to him.
So?
That's most
that
Pro
was
Bowlers.
Eric Kramer, right?
That's
Wasn't that Eric
why
Kramer?
they made-
Was
that's
that
why
Ron
they made
Turner's
Pro Bowl.
offensive system?
All right, let me ask you this.
No.
When you look at
So is that why Wes Welker made the Pro Bowl? Because they throw it to him every single
yes, same thing.
That's not the
Wes
same.
Welker.
That's not the same.
How is that
Stop
not the
it.
same?
Because this is why
They
it's
throw
not
it
the
to him
same.
every single
okay,
play,
this is
too.
why it's not
But
the same.
no,
Let me
Wes
tell you why it's
Welker
not
is a great
the same.
player, and I
Because
think he
Wes
deserves to
Welker
go to the
has-
Pro Bowl.
Wes Welker
What I'm
has
trying to say
600
is
yards.
Marty deserved to go to the Pro Bowl. I don't care if they throw it to him every single play or not.
Okay.
It's
Ding,
nothing but Aaron.
ding,
It's nothing but
ding.
Aaron
But I'm gonna tell you
opportunity
why.
right here.
I'm gonna tell you why right now. Wes Welker has 1,600 yards receiving. Tom Brady threw for over 5,000 yards, so he had to throw to somebody else.
Yeah, Gronkowski.
Jim
Hernandez.
Miller would have 2,100 yards, and Marty Booker would have 1,700 yards. That's why. That is why. They threw it to him every play. That is what I mean. Thank you very much.
Go to
All right,
guy,
then.
man.
You were sitting next to Jim Miller,
Let me
that's
break this up and get back to Levy.
Yes.
Lovey.
Out of the, it's 17 coaches that have coached for over 4 years or more. Where do you think Levy ranks amongst those 17 coaches in winning percentage?
Top 5.
I would say he's up there in the top 10.
Top 10. I'll
But
give
it's
you
only
top 10.
17.
Well, I mean, okay.
That's not
Is he in the
7.
top half at least, or is he in the bottom
Yeah,
half?
I say he's in the top half.
So 17 coaches that have been around for
17
at least
coaches
4
that
years.
have been around you said 4 years.
4 years.
4 years. You know, Dom,
Coughlin might be close. Belichick.
All right, well,
Kubiak down in
I
Houston.
did the research.
Harbaugh,
Let me-
Kubiak does not have it.
you know, you
I
took
did.
Tomlin.
Hold on, I did the research.
I
I'm
know
gonna
you
let
did.
know.
I would say he's
throwing out
up there.
names. I'm throwing out names because I want people to hear these
Tomlin
names.
has him.
He's actually tied for 9th.
9th.
So he's right in the middle. You got Belichick, you got Sean Payton, Mike McCarthy,
He's
Mike
at the bottom
Smith,
tier.
John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, Jim.
You say for the last 5 years?
Yes, for the last 4 years. 4 years.
At
Okay,
least
okay,
4
well,
years.
calm down. Okay, well, calm
Tom-
down now. You don't
No,
even
winning
count
percentage,
his
career
best
winning
2
percentage.
years that he had here?
No,
Come on, I mean-
No,
I'm
career
just
winning
saying, no,
percentage
I'm not
of
saying
coaches that have coached
the,
at least
the
4
career
years.
records of coaches that has been coaching for 4 years or more.
So you're going to
that-
take all
To
of
qualify, you have to be coached for 4 years to even be considered.
Oh, man.
I think it's a
Well,
great point.
I'm
It's a
counting
great
all of
point.
the years.
so.
I'm
And we've
counting
had this
all.
discussion.
I'm counting all
I
of
think
11 years.
when you do that, you can count all 11 years, but then you can also, like, that can be a detriment to his stats too, because
It can be a detriment to any coach's stat.
A coach could
So
have
what-
fell into a really good team.
Okay, so what you want to do?
But
6
you still
years?
got to be able to manage the really
all
good
I'm
team,
saying,
though.
all I'm
Say
saying
Mike
is-
Smith fell into a
All
good
I'm
team.
saying is that Ron Rivera used to tell us, lies figure and figures lie. Okay, you can find a figure that can match anything you want to argue.
I
That's
agree.
all I'm saying.
I agree.
You can find a figure that can match. You can find a number that matches whatever you want to argue, and that's all I'm saying. I think Love is a hell of a coach. Give him some players that fit his system. and he'll win a Super Bowl here.
Yeah,
that's what I believe.
You can believe that, but I mean, let's look at the coaches are on that list. Can we name those coaches really quick before I know we have,
Okay.
Can we take those coaches and let's compare?
All right, we got Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick, obviously.
Sean Payton.
Peyton down in New Orleans, that was such a
McCarthy.
great place for him to go, right?
Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy up in Green Bay.
Mike Smith.
Mike Smith in Atlanta was definitely not a good place to go.
John Harbaugh.
Harbaugh in Baltimore, he got a good defense.
Mike Tomlin.
Tomlin,
He didn't fall into a great team.
I'm giving you that one.
And then tied is Lovie Smith and Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin
and every
New York
year,
Giants.
everybody wants to get rid of these two.
I'm sorry. You got a couple other guys that's higher. Mike Shanahan is higher, and Andy Reid is also higher than
Reid in Philly and Shanahan career.
Mike Shanahan?
Yeah.
Career.
Oh, God.
Since he's been in Washington, it's
you
been
have to have
horrendous.
4 years to qualify.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, we need to switch gears because we got
a great guest
somebody
coming.
on the line who we need to talk to, and talking to this guy is like talking to like an encyclopedia about the Chicago Bulls.
Yes, it is.
And
BULLS.
The Bulls are
playing great right now at
Yes, they
10-2. So let's go to the phone lines and let's get Mr. K.C. Johnson on the phone. How you doing, K.C.?
How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
What's up, K.C.? How you doing, man?
Thanks for having me on.
No, thanks for being here. How's Boston?
Boston's good. I got out of Chicago before the snow.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's full of snow here, too, so it's awful. How the boys looking? I mean, I think everybody here wants to know, is Derrick Rose going to play tomorrow?
Well, he did travel here, and I talked to somebody who talked to him who said his injury is improving, but they won't know if he's going to play tomorrow until after he tests his shoot-around, if he tests his shoot-around. The good thing is it doesn't seem like it's a long-term injury.
That is a good news.
That is good. That is good. It's good to have him. I mean, his replacement, I guess the poor man, Derrick Rose, did pretty well the other night.
JL3?
Yeah.
Hey, are we gonna have the United starting to play Tom Jones song every time he comes in the game? It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to play point guard and number one.
Gosh, oh my gosh.
KC, this is a question I have for you. With all the injuries that's going on, and our main two big guys not playing well, is this pace sustainable for the Bulls to keep pace with the other teams at the top of the league?
Keep pace, they're tops.
If we don't get healthy and our two big guys don't start playing a little better.
Well, I mean, that is an issue. I mean, Noah, especially to me, is not playing very well. But, it's like I keep hearing all this negative nitpicking stuff, and I get it because, like, it's championship or bust this season. But they are 10-2, and they played, they played 8 road games. So they've had a lot of injuries. They've had a lot of issues. The big guys are not playing well, and yet guys keep stepping up. Now, I know the whole goal of the season is to make it to the NBA Finals and win a championship.
Right.
And to beat Miami. But Miami's going through their own struggles right now. So, from my perspective, I think this season's been a big success thus far. And I recognize that Noah needs to play better. I recognize that Boozer needs to play better. But they've had a lot of different people step up when they've had injuries, and I think that's an admirable thing for this team.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. I mean, you have Noah down, you have Boozer down, but let's focus on the positive of that scenario. That's allowed Taj Gibson and Amir to really step up and flourish. I think they've really shown that we're now, without a doubt, in my opinion, the deepest team in the NBA.
I believe that. What do you think about that?
He's played great. I mean, his shot blocking ability and his ability to rebound and rotate defensively has been fantastic. So, this team's biggest strength to me is its depth. Now, obviously last season that was not enough to get past the stars. I mean, we know the NBA is about star power. And, the Bulls only have one of those who is a legit MVP candidate type star. However, I do think in a compressed season, this is a very unique season. I think depth and the ability to throw a bunch of different guys at you can really, really prevail. So I think in the regular season, the Bulls are going to be right there. It's obviously just going to come down to, barring injury, you got to believe it's going to be the Heat and the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals. And you're going to wonder if it's depth or star power that's going to win out at that point.
Right.
Do you just seeing how the Heat are struggling in the fourth quarter? and seeing, I mean, knowing that we have Derrick Rose who can finish and have shown over and over and over again that he can finish in the fourth quarter. Is this a positive for Bulls fans to believe that if we are in a close game in those NBA finals, I mean, in the Eastern finals, that we have a chance to win those games, or is that like nothing that we should be thinking about, just thinking about the team just actually getting better and better each week?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, obviously we don't know until it plays out. I will say that, Derek was worn out at the end of last year's Eastern Conference Finals, so he did not play as well as he typically does in those Eastern Conference Finals. LeBron's struggles in the fourth quarter are well documented, but at least against the Bulls in last year's Eastern Conference Finals, particularly that Game 5 elimination game where they came back from 13-14 down with 3 minutes to go, he played great in the fourth quarter. Now, I know he didn't close things against the Mavericks, but that's still a lot of star power on the court at one time if Bosh, Wade, and LeBron are healthy. So it's going to be really interesting. I mean, obviously, again, barring injury, the Heat and the Bulls are headed on a collision course towards the Eastern Conference Finals. I think the Bulls are better this year. I mean, the one thing you got to remember is they're playing this well, and they're off to this good of a start, and Rip really hasn't been acclimated yet. He's been injured. He doesn't quite know his teammates yet. This guy was acquired for the Eastern Conference Finals in mind, so you can't really judge this Bulls team until Richard Hamilton is fully healthy and acclimated with his teammates.
KC, this is Desmond Clark once again. I agree. I think this is like the deepest team in the NBA, but I just want to know, when is this team going to get back to full strength with C.J. Watson, Rip Hamilton came back? How long are we expecting these guys to be out before we can get back to full strength?
Yeah, Des, I mean, obviously, like I said, they've really accomplished all this with all these major injuries, which I think some people are overlooking. C.J. has told me that he's targeting Monday's road game, the Martin Luther King Day game, the matinee in Memphis on Monday for his return. So I would think that C.J. would be back by Monday. Rip, they're being really, really cautious with, again, because they're winning. Ronnie Brewer is playing well, and Rip was added for the playoffs in mind. So you guys know how groin injuries are. They're very tricky. You don't want to come back too early and aggravate it again and be out for even longer. So I think they're being smart with Rip. He probably could play if it's, in fact, I would say that he would for sure play if this was the playoffs, but Rip was acquired to beat the Heat. So there's plenty of season left for him to play regular season games, but he was more of a playoff piece. So they're going to wait till that groin is 1,000% healthy before he's back out there. When that is, I can't say.
KC, we appreciate you, like always, coming on and dropping that knowledge for us about the Chicago Bulls. Hey, have a good time up there in Boston, and we'll talk to you here in another couple of weeks as the Chicago Bulls stay on top of the NBA Heat.
Thanks, KC.
Thank you, sir.
Great, thanks, guys. Take care, man. Talk to you soon.
For sure. Right. Thank you. That's KC Johnson. You can also follow KC at KCJHoop on Twitter. KC, you can find all the information you need about the Bulls. He's a heck of a guy. Very
you can also
guy
follow Alex Brown at Alex Brown 96.
You can also follow at Alex Brown 96 too. You
can also follow Ryan Steele at WCRT Chicago.
Why would you want to do that?
Why would you want to follow? Follow the Nondescript. You know, that's what he should change his name to on Twitter.
Nondescript white guy.
Nobody has that.
Well, not only that, but you couldn't say anything to me because all 140 characters would be my name.
You get to tweet 5 characters.
That's all you got left.
I like it, though.
No, I mean, if you're going to talk NBA, we talked about Miami Heat. I was watching that game last night. All right, I don't know if you guys caught that. It went into overtime. LeBron James, in the last 30 seconds of regulation, has 4 7 free throws, misses 2 of them. And the only reason they had he had the second chance is D-Wade, once again, shaving his backside, leaping out of bounds and throwing the ball back off. And it was an amazing play. In the end, the Clippers wound up winning. Again, LeBron missed some fadeaway jumpers. He was taking long jumpers rather than driving the hoop. He went with the left hand again. That you forced him left, he misses. I almost get to the point where if I'm Eric Spoelstra, 2 minutes of the game, I sit LeBron.
No, you don't.
He chokes.
Hold on.
I would rather have D-Wade take the final shot.
Okay, I understand that.
99.9% of the time.
Though.
He's a good defender. I'll give him that.
He's not going to sit LeBron.
But I would make sure that we do not run the offense through him in the final 2 minutes.
You're running through D-Wade.
Everything should go through D-Wade.
I understand that.
D-Wade is more His play has matured. His play has matured to a level far superior than LeBron's. LeBron has a far superior skill set and physical traits, but D. Wade has a knack for the game and a knowledge of the game in situational judgments that I think just elevates him to a separate level of LeBron.
He has that killer instinct.
I can agree with that.
You cannot agree with that. We can talk about that.
I'm just saying I can agree with that, but you're talking about LeBron like he's a bench player.
I was.
No way.
I would until he learns.
Not putting him on the bench. Okay, you can't punish the guy that you gave $130 million.
I honestly think. Have you seen those Miller Lite? Right? I think it's the beer commercials where they say we're giving this guy the feeling of a last second game tying kick, right?
Yeah.
I think that maybe they got to put some of those exercises out there for LeBron and make him hit that game-winning shot, that fourth quarter shot, because he needs to learn how to do it in pressure.
He has to do it. He's going to have to prove that. That's going to be something that eats at him for a long time. Because
it's going to get to the point where teams are going to double up D Wade so the ball has to.
If he was making those shots or not, until he wins a championship, he's always going to be looked at as.
If he wins it and D Wade takes over the playoffs like he did in 05 or 06, whenever they won.
Matter.
If D Wade takes over, then he still won't get credit. People will say he played on D Wade's team. He needs to be the man on his team.
He's playing on D Wade's team.
Yeah, he went to D Wade's team. D Wade was already there and won championships there.
Who was the man last year?
But he's the best player on that team.
Let me just say this.
LeBron is the best player on that team.
Do you have LeBron James' number? Because that's the only ring he's going to get.
Let's say this.
Do you have his phone number? That's the only ring he's getting. Seriously.
You know what? That was actually a pretty good one. That was actually pretty good.
1 out of 30 million.
The LA Lakers back in the 80s had Magic Johnson.
Coop.
And they also had James Worthy.
You're telling me that's
and hold on. And they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Coop.
Whose team was it?
Magic.
Without a doubt.
Okay, I don't understand.
But I see D Wade being more Magic than LeBron James.
No, what we're saying
on the team.
What we're saying is the best player on the team
James
isn't the team. It isn't his team.
But I see LeBron James being the scorer more like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was. And
the leader
of this team.
The one who holds it together and they go to when it needs.
Right.
D Wade. And if they would figure that out, they would be doing better.
He's
now,
Magic
they've only lost 3 games.
All right, hold on.
We're talking like the Heat, like they're over. They've only lost 3 games this year, right?
And I even hate to say that Bosh is the James Worthy because
Bosh hits clutch threes. By the way, if you looked at Bosh,
I'm just talking about a big three.
Threes. He can hit a three.
He can hit a three, but his shooting percentage on threes when it's like a game tying situation, on the fourth, that goes up. LeBron's goes down. I'm not saying that you should give the ball to Bosh. I'm not saying that he'd go to Bosh, but whenever Bosh, like all of a sudden he finds himself outside the arc in a pressure situation, somehow he drains it. His shooting percentage from 3 goes up in pressure situation.
Okay.
And that's the one that's a knock against LeBron. His shooting goes down.
This is D Wade's team. Okay, I know
without a
people
doubt.
say that. I can't think of another situation where the best player on the team didn't get credit for it being his team.
Do you think it matters?
How many people would run after you right now if you called it Pippen's team?
Nobody. They would want to know what I was smoking.
Kidding me?
They would ask me if I had a direct connection to Sam Hurd.
Right.
Wow. That's what they would ask me if I said it was Pippen's team. They're like, "Where's Sam Hurd?"
Exactly. So it's like you don't find the best player on the team. That's his team. Nobody's gonna say for the Oklahoma team that it's not.
Then that what you're saying is that people honestly believe that D Wade is the better player.
He's not the best player on that team.
We're not the only ones saying that it's D Wade's team.
You believe he's the best player on that team?
Who would I rather have on my team?
I didn't ask you that.
I would rather have D Wade. Right now, D Wade to me is a more complete player.
By a lot of people, the best player in the world. So is he not the best player on that team?
Physical skill sets in the world, but that doesn't mean he's the best player. I would say that Dwayne Wade is the best all-around player. He knows situations. He understands.
I sum it up like this: Dwayne Wade is the best. He's the go-to guy on that team when it's crunch time.
Oh, without a doubt.
So the go-to guy, that's who owns the team. That's who team it is.
Okay, well, this go-to guy and everybody kills LeBron about it because I like LeBron, but I don't love LeBron like a lot of people do. But I will take up for the guy.
All right.
When LeBron didn't take a shot 2 games ago, where the hell was Wade? Where was he? Did he not take shots either? Because LeBron didn't take a shot. Everybody talk about LeBron. Oh, he didn't take a shot. Well, who was taking the shots? Where was this Mr. Wade?
I know who was.
Where was Wade?
You want to know who's taking the shots?
Who?
Tim Tebow.
Get out of here. See, you want to dodge it. You want to make answer the question. Tell me. Tell me who was taking the shots that fourth quarter.
We're talking about clutch. We're talking about clutch. We're talking about rising the occasion. Who would you say is more clutch? Tim Tebow or LeBron James? $130 million versus nobody even gives him credit. But who's more clutch?
Give him credit.
Whose team is the Denver Broncos?
No, I give him credit.
And you can't compare that.
He's a great player.
It's a team sport.
You can't compare that. You can't compare that.
How am I?
Okay, because LeBron is the only one taking that shot.
No, he's not.
The kid, Demarius Thomas, that stiff-armed the guy at the 50 and sprinted 4.4 speed or 4.5 speed.
So let's give the GM credit out there for getting that.
He won't have anything to do with that.
He had to get the ball to him.
He threw the ball to him. So if Tebow throws a screen to
he had to get the ball to him.
Hey, but let's go much earlier.
A 5-yard screen and turns into an 80-yard touchdown.
Let's go much earlier.
Let's
go much earlier in that game. You got to give Tebow a little credit because he had that 50-yarder to Detriot Thomas in the first half that was on the money segment.
I got to give Tebow credit. I'm wearing the T-shirt.
I said we. Our show, we.
What we're going to do, what I'm going to do, I'm going to let these two guys calm down, simmer down a little bit. Listen to the Des Clark, Alex Brown show. Better known as our show. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back. We're here at the Tilted Kilt in Vernon Hills at 447 North Milwaukee Avenue. If you want to get in on the conversation, you can dial 773-382-8732. We'd love for you to stay right there where you at, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Des Clark Show. I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for you to say something.
And the Alex Brown Show.
That's how we're going to start doing it.
Okay.
It's the Des Clark?
Okay, let's practice one more time. Welcome to the Des Clark
and Alex Brown
Nondescript White Guy Show.
Yes, there it is right there. We're live on location at the Tilted Kilt in Vernon Hills at 447 North Milwaukee Avenue. This is the last segment, so if you want to get in on the conversation, you can dial 773-382-8732. Hey, before we go any further.
Yeah.
We have many dedicated fans here.
A lot. They came out in this snowstorm. You got to give them credit.
And we have many dedicated people that work behind the scenes also.
Yes, we do.
We do. They drove out here, too.
And you drove 3 hours yourself.
Everybody drove here. Well, no, you guys live here, so that's not even fair.
Yeah, we drove.
You drove like 3 minutes.
It took me
Usually
10 minutes.
It takes me 3 minutes. It took me about 45 minutes today.
It took me over 3 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't compete with that.
He drove all the way
80 miles just to get here today.
But we got
it in Indiana.
My job.
Well, I have nothing to do with that because your job was over here in Vernon Hills and you drove shorter.
Well, it's not. Well, excuse me. I actually have a job.
See, you're always jabbing at me. You know, one day I'm going to get a job.
One day.
I'm going to get a job.
One day.
I'm going to get a job.
One day I'm going to get a job. I'm going to have my name on the show.
All of us have something vested in this show.
Yes, we do.
So we had a reason to get here.
Absolutely.
But my man Scott, I got my man Scott who's sitting over here.
How we doing, Scott?
This guy drove all the way from Milwaukee.
Yes.
You know what I like?
Snowstorm.
Just for this show.
Yeah, before I even go there, got to give credit to anybody from Cheeseland getting a brain and being a Bears fan.
Yes, that's even more impressive.
Yes, very,
all right.
very
Welcome to the Flatland.
Appreciate that, Scott.
Welcome to the Flatland.
You drove
from Chicago.
Jose from Chicago. We're calling out some fans
baby.
tonight.
Absolutely.
We're calling out some fans. So welcome to, thanks for coming out, everybody. Don't forget, next week we are at the Tilted Kilt in Roselle.
In Roselle.
Yes, we are. So it's awesome. And Adam Podlish, Chicago Bears punter, who just became the first Bears punter to have a net average of over 40 yards for an entire season, will be there. Yes.
Because that was always a goal every year, and we never did get there.
Net average was
good.
over 40 yards, thanks to not only Adam Podlish, but also Corey Graham.
Well,
Look it up.
Hold on.
Oh, here we go.
Well, that's
hold on.
Here we go.
A team thing.
It is.
I want the fans to understand.
Adam will probably give credit immediately.
That the punter gets credit for, but he needs somebody. He can kick a ball 60 yards, and if nobody covers and they run it all the way back.
I said Corey Graham.
Well,
no, for real.
Hold on.
Nobody knows that.
He needs that.
But we never got that before. But we were able to get it this year.
That's special.
I think a lot of y'all worked there.
Debbie down and let that man get the credit.
We're talking about Adam Podlish, and I think that one of the subjects we're going to be talking about next week, honestly, is Dave Tope.
Yes.
All right, and that's something I just want to let all of our fans know. We're going to be talking about our special teams coach.
who may not be.
Who may not be back. His contract is up. We're in this exclusive negotiating time right now.
Well,
I'm kind of shocked. I haven't heard his name as much as I thought it would be for some of these potential openings. And speaking of some potential openings, there's some rumors coming out of Tampa that Mike Sherman is going to get that. All right, but interestingly enough, this week Indianapolis Colts Ryan Gregson becomes GM. Reggie McKenzie GM out in Oakland immediately gets rid of Hugh.
Yeah.
Immediately.
He was mad about that.
As soon as he signed,
he was mad
hold on.
Done next day.
Hold on, let me show you how it
racer car?
happened. You are the GM. You need to sign right here. All right, Hugh, you're done.
No, he trumped him. He trumped him. He did
was
a
immediate.
boom. You're fired.
Yeah,
he
it
pulled
was
out the
immediate,
trump.
definitely.
With that being said, the team that is the only solo team in the large market. When you talk about the NFL, New York is obviously the largest market in the United States, but they split between the Jets and the state itself has 3 teams.
Right.
You got the Bills out there, not saying that they share that marketplace, but Chicago is, without a team in LA, we are the largest market, and we have one team. Yeah, nice.
Okay.
And we have an interesting situation where
but it's awesome.
we don't necessarily see people knocking down the door to get here. Eric DeCosta said, "No, I'm staying with Baltimore. Got a nice thing." You know what? We've got some candidates here that are potentially GM. The team finally shows some transparency in announcing some of the candidates they have. There is one on this list that I honestly believe.
Only one?
There's only one on this list that I believe would be one of the biggest mistakes ever for this franchise.
And who is that guy?
Well, obviously, Tim Ruskell.
Tim Ruskell.
Tim Ruskell. You bring in Tim Ruskell, who did it so well in Seattle. And you bring him here. He doesn't really have that prowess of developing talent from a college. All right. Now, Grant, he did draft Chris Spencer up there. And
he brought him here.
And he brought him here. All right. I think Chris Spencer was a really solid addition this year that he was able to go from I still think that was weird that we took a guard and put him at center and took a center and put him at guard. I still think that's weird. But they made it work. They made it work.
What do you mean? Maybe the guard was a center playing guard.
Yeah,
because he made a Pro Bowl. He never made a Pro Bowl playing guard.
It's not the first time that we've ever had
alternate.
It's never the time that we've seen players switch positions. I've known wide receivers that have been switched to tight end. Oh,
yes.
How you doing, Des?
Yeah.
My question is, and here are the candidates that were announced. Phil Emery, who is the director of college scouting for the Kansas City Chiefs. Jimmy Ray from the Chargers. Mark Ross from the Giants. Again, director of college scouting.
Jimmy Ray the third.
Oh, excuse me. J. Ray. 3.
Yeah, the third.
J. Ray the Trip.
Who's been around football his entire life.
And the director of player pro personnel for the Patriots.
Who's been around football his entire life.
Yeah, okay.
I absolutely love the thought of Jimmy Ray coming here.
Why? Did he call you and say, if I get signed, you're coming back?
No,
is that why? Is that why?
I know that he's going to surround his head coach with talent. I know that. And I've seen it.
His reputation has been
it's hard to even argue that.
His reputation has been that of a good talent evaluator.
Talent evaluator. So
which they say they want it.
Which I got to give the Bears credit because we're obviously going after people that are really good at in their drafts and evaluating talent. That is one area we have stunk.
Yes.
Stunk.
They drafted Alex Brown.
In order to draft.
They drafted Alex Brown.
They drafted Alex Brown.
And they stunk at that draft because they should have took me first round. They waited till the fourth.
Fourth round.
They were rolling the dice and they was hitting craps every time. They was rolling.
All right. Well, with that being said.
Right. Sorry, I get that out of there.
Give the Bears some credit for realizing it. But honestly, you guys have been in the game. You guys have been involved. You know what's going on. And you see how, as we talked about when Chris was here, sometimes you got to let guys cut loose. You talked about with the Saints. They get, they say, okay, we made a mistake. They cut it loose.
Right.
Which one of these guys, given your knowledge of the game and background, do you think has done that best job?
Well,
I mean,
honestly,
if you were Ted Phillips, who would you bring in?
Well, honestly, I mean, I don't know what these guys, because I don't know much about who these guys was drafting.
Well, let's just look at their systems.
But when I look at who's here, and I read about Jimmy Ray being that talent evaluator, and I look at that San Diego team with the talent that's out there, I'm saying, he's a good candidate.
Ryan Matthews, Mike Tolbert,
Jason
Malcolm
Licht,
Floyd.
And he's been in that system in New England that's been so successful since, 2000.
With that being said, name me a DB. Name me a DB from New England. Give me a DB.
Well, Ty Law was there. I don't think they drafted him.
Since Jason's been
Well,
there.
McCourty.
This is my brother. Yeah, Brandon Merriweather.
No,
He was
McCourty.
a
No,
Pro Bowler.
McCourty. It's McCourty.
My thing is, but where are they now?
McCourty is
still there, but where's B?
You want him to draft the Champ Bailey?
No, not everybody's going to draft Champ Bailey.
Champ Bailey every year.
My point is a couple of the Bears' needs we need to evaluate through the draft, right? So you can't bring in a GM really without looking at what you need and their past history to evaluating talent.
You're talking about looking at it position by position.
No, I'm not looking at position by position.
But you made the point of, okay, name me a DB.
Right.
So if you're going to single...
we desperately need some...
Okay, but if you're going to single it out like that, I'm sure we could look at...
I want someone with a history of being able to...
No, but listen, we could look at Jimmy Ray and say, okay, name me a defensive end for San Diego.
Yeah.
They run a 3-4.
Well, but I'm just saying, name me a defensive end.
Name a defensive end that plays a 3-4.
Okay, and we gave you one for New England. You can do that with anybody.
Well, we can
you got to look at it overall.
I'm with you overall. I'm just saying that if someone has a track record of not drafting, maybe they draft defense well, but not like wide receivers well, or something like that. I mean, is that the person we need? We have so many areas of need right now with the Bears. Just so many. Which one of these guys has a track record that will fill those, not only next year, but will build a team that will constantly be there? The Bears are up and down, up and down. I want to be on the same par as your Steelers.
Right.
As your Patriots. As your Ravens, who are there every single year.
Well, you also got to look at a guy like the fifth guy on my list, Mark Ross. Where he's been on
Knicks, Mario Manningham. He got Victor Cruz out of nowhere,
okay,
right?
Well, but we could go to Jimmy Ray and name players also.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Which one of these? I mean, if you really start evaluating, all these are really solid names,
right?
And it kind of scares me. That's not the Bears' MO.
Because they're going to go at Tim Ruskell.
Exactly. This is a front.
Are we really looking at what really makes these guys who they are? And that's, if I bring you, if you're the guy that's evaluating talent, you're going to get all the credit for, okay, he brought this guy in. And I bring you a bag of rotten apples, nobody's good, and you have to choose, and no matter who you choose, they're going to be bad. It's the people that actually go out and see this talent and bring it in and say, we need to look at this guy. Hey, we need to look at this guy. Those are the guys that you have to look at to say, he has these people around him. That's what makes him so good. And
not only that he has people around him, but is willing to take their input and listen.
And willing to stand on a table for a guy. You got to be able to stand on a table for a guy and say, you know what? I think this guy right here can help our team. I think this guy right here has the talent, or he can become this Pro Bowl player, or when I see his skill set, he can become a great player. But it's the little guys that you don't hear about that make the Jimmy Ray looks good, that make Jason Light or Litch. That makes Phil Emery, all those guys.
Just call him JL. We just call him JL.
You can call him JL. But those are the guys that make him look good.
So who would you take? If you were Ted Phillips, who would you take?
I can't say any one of them.
I'm taking Jimmy Ray.
You why?
Because he stacked that team with talent. Oh my gosh, he stacked them with talent.
Well, let's do this.
He stacked them to the point where you can let
Was it? Are you going to say it was Jimmy Ray or was it AJ Smith? AJ Smith was a GM out there.
Okay, I think it was Jimmy Ray.
All right.
Let's do this.
Just like Jerry Angelo, the only reason I fought Jerry Angelo, I'm sorry.
Oh, you fought with Jerry Angelo?
The only reason I fought him because he got rid of everybody else and nothing changed. Every year it was somebody else's fault. Every year.
I wish if you had fought him, you would have knocked him out because that would have saved us.
No, I didn't. Okay, I fought. He's at fault.
Oh, you fought, not fought. I thought you said fought.
So that's the reason, because he got rid of everybody else when it was this guy's fault or it's that guy's fault. Then he gets rid of them. But, I mean, he...
What are you doing over there? What are you doing?
Really?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Whatever. But I think it was his fault. Yes.
Let's go to the phone line.
Let's get to the phone line.
Yes, sir. We got Max on the line. How you doing, Max?
Max, what's going on?
That's hilarious. Hey, Max, buddy, how you doing? Max, you with us, buddy?
With us?
Max,
Okay, there he is.
I think I just heard him. You with us, Max?
Yeah. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
What you got for us tonight,
Man,
Max?
first of all, I want to brag about how nice the weather is here in North Carolina. It was 54 degrees and sunny today. Sorry, it's snowing with you guys.
Thanks a lot, Max.
Shut it up, Max.
It's not snowing. Sam Hurd is simply destroying evidence.
That's out of control. Hey, a great discussion on GM, and frankly, I'm uneducated on all of those guys, so it was good to hear that. And it was a good discussion about Coach Lovie Smith. I thought that was great, too. But one of the things I got to fault Coach Lovie Smith on is the three of you guys that were there, Chris, Alex, and Dez, because he had a say in that. And I
could have
think
brought
all
me
three of
in.
you guys should go Bears.
No. For me, he didn't have a say. I had this
You
conversation
don't
with
think
him.
so?
If it was
Okay.
up to him, I would still be there. I had that conversation with him.
Well, next year he ought to bring you back because senior leadership's important in any business. I don't care. I run a business here, and you have to have senior leadership people who know what they're doing.
I don't know, Max. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the thought. I appreciate you saying that. And I honestly haven't even thought about that much. Who was at fault or who was
Yeah.
whose fault was it that I left? I just had to get over the
Kill
fact
Jerry.
that I had to get over it. I had to get over it. Okay, whatever it is, I got to go ahead and play. So
Yep, but there's still the future, so you never know. But
Exactly.
the real reason I called is the man sitting in the middle with a Tebow shirt on.
yes, sir.
What? Excuse me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, Max.
Last week, I think I heard you pick Pittsburgh on the show.
I think I heard that.
Totally did.
About the wonderful Tebow.
Hey, you know what, Max? You're absolutely right. I did. I picked
all right.
Pittsburgh on the show on Thursday, but by
I want to
Sunday,
hear the bold prediction for this week.
well, hold on.
Here it is. Hold on a second.
By Sunday morning, I had picked before the game was played. I picked the Denver Broncos to beat Pittsburgh. Okay, I just
Okay,
want to let
all right.
that be known. I did.
I will
So-
say that if you'd like to see the video evidence of that, simply check out the DesClarkShow.com.
Follow
Go to
me at
DesClarkShow.com.
AlexBrown96 and you'll see.
And you will
can go
see
back
it
on
on
my history
episodes.
and see.
You go right in there, and all the way at the end of the show, you will see, without a doubt, he goes, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I did.
And now, he and Skip Bayless are president and vice president of the Tim Tebow fan club.
Perfect. And everybody else hates on Tebow and gives him absolutely no credit
Not hating
for
on him.
anything.
I just don't think he's the
Hey,
sole
hey,
reason.
I don't
It
think.
was an excellent throw this week to that number 88 guy. Although there's something
Marius
magical about
Thomas.
number 88, right? Vance?
Yeah. Was I in that game? No,
Did you give him permission to wear your
Hey,
jersey
I wore
out
that
there?
number 88 before he did, so.
So is it
Yeah,
88?
okay,
Okay.
Will there be Tebow magic this week? That's the question.
If he could throw for
nobody ever
300
gives him credit for the Tebow magic, so let's not call it Tebow magic. Let's call it Mile High magic, or let's call it Bronco
be Mile
magic.
High, it'll
Let's
be
call
Gillette.
it Bronco magic. Let's call it that. Because everybody's so convinced that he's going to get whooped this year, just like last week. I mean, I actually said on tape that I didn't think they were going to get whipped. And then by the time the game came, I changed that I would pick them. But I never said they'd get whipped, though. No. Desmond Clark was that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was me.
Yep. That was
But
him.
you
Yeah,
also picked Pittsburgh.
I did. In a close
We all
game, and then
picked
I
Pittsburgh.
choose. Then
Okay.
I choose against it.
All three of
I'm
us
going
picked
to tell you
Pittsburgh.
what would be magical. If he could throw for 316 yards again and wear the John 316 up under his eye.
I don't
That would
care
be
what he
nice.
throws for. If he throws for 120 yards and wins, nobody's going to give him credit. They're going to say, oh, somebody else did it. McGahee ran for 400 yards. And get out of here. Tebow, the quarterback on football teams, gets the credit for winning the game unless you play on a team like the Baltimore Ravens where the defense gets the credit.
We appreciate you. We
that's it.
appreciate your call,
Thanks,
Max.
Max.
Max,
for calling
I
in.
appreciate
I'm just
that.
going to say this. I think you're going to talk about a Mile High miracle. I think this week you're going to have a Foxborough fantasy. It's just not going to happen. It's a fallacy.
Yeah,
in
you thought
Foxborough.
last week. You thought last week that Pittsburgh was going to run in there. And
I did not.
kill 'em.
I did not say they were going to kill him. I wasn't here to say that.
You said it. You want
When
to
did I wasn't here.
Hold on. Twitter's a very powerful thing.
I said
'Cause it saves
how
all
long.
messages.
I said how long
It
till
saves all
Tebow is out of the
messages.
game and Brady Quinn is in. That's what I said.
And when did Brady Quinn actually come in the game?
He came out of the locker room.
Yeah. Tebow won that game, and it was his
I believe the
316
Broncos
yards.
won that game. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And if Tom Brady throws
Wait.
for 316
If Adam Podlish
yards,
doesn't get credit for
Yeah.
a 40 net yard, Tebow does not get credit for the win. The Broncos do. It's a team thing, folks.
If Tom Brady throws
there are
for
11 players on the field, 53 on
316
the roster.
yards, everybody says Tom Brady. The reason
Tim
people say Denver
316.
cannot win this week, they never say the defense. They say Tom Brady. What is Tom Brady gonna play defense? No, they say Tom Brady. They never say not Wes Welker. They don't say, hey, can you name a running back they have? Everybody says Tom Brady.
Ben Jarvis Green. Ellis.
Sure? Yeah. Yes. He has like 8 names. Yes.
Matt Light.
But my point is, everybody says it's because Tom Brady. It's not, that's why he's going to lose. Why can't you use Tebow like that?
If it was really Tom Brady, then how come Matt Castle got franchised and is making money in Kansas City?
Matt Castle was
it was
luck.
a system. It was system.
Matt Castle was luck. They got lucky because they didn't see any film on him.
It was a system.
Where did they see film on him at?
He was a backup at USC to Carson Palmer.
He was a backup his whole life. In high school, everything. He was a backup.
It was a system.
It was,
Talking about
no, it was Randy Moss.
Hey, because they weren't bad under
Randy Moss when he caught it.
The system.
Oh my God, I'm drawing up like Drew Bledsoe. They weren't that bad under Drew Bledsoe either.
They didn't win championships under Drew Bledsoe.
No, they did not. I'm just saying.
But Drew Bledsoe put up numbers. It was the system.
Okay.
Every quarterback that does well now, I'm going to just start. It's the system.
It has to be.
They have
to have a good system, you know.
Let's talk about a real good system.
Yes.
In college football.
What? I'm sorry, what?
The Alabama Crimson Tide system.
The Alabama, I didn't win my own conference. I have the same record as 2 other teams.
Because I am the best team in the country. No team had a chance.
Then if I'm Alabama and I say I'm the best team, you know what I do?
What?
I throw it down. Let's arrange our own game.
Play who?
Arrange your own game?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like that's going to
Call Oklahoma State. Get them on the field. Let's go.
You think Oklahoma State want to play that team that plays?
Yes, I do.
You got to be kidding me. They beat the brakes off Oklahoma State.
You really think so? I think right now, if you picked up the phone and you called Oklahoma State, they would be on a freaking plane in a heartbeat.
They'd kill them.
You know, why don't we arrange a show? We will have the Des Clark, Alex Brown, and Nondescript White Guy Bowl. It'll be the +1. It'll be the +1. And we will sponsor it, and that's what will happen. And you know, all the fans of the world will have a sigh of relief saying, finally, these guys are geniuses. They finally figured out a way to figure it. You got a team, LSU, that went in Alabama and beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
And suddenly, because they're not the champion.
Why can't Oklahoma State just not lose?
I'm with you on that.
Then they're in it.
I'm with you on that.
So when they both lose.
But Alabama lost at home.
Right.
They didn't have a coach die. They didn't go on the road.
Who cares? Okay, come on.
I'm just saying there is some.
Yeah, okay. I've had that.
Let's go back.
I've had tragedies while I was playing.
It's just proof that we are having this debate. The fact that we have this debate is proof that this system is not the one we need to be using. First off, why do we really want to wait 6 weeks?
For a national championship.
6 freaking weeks.
Because it's been done that way for a long time.
No, it hasn't. It was always New Year's Day. They're now putting it out a whole nother week past that. It was always New Year's Day. Do you remember all the bowl games used to be New Year's? Sugar Bowl, Cotton Bowl.
It would be like January 2nd
and it was all voted on.
3rd.
It was all voted on.
Not January 1st because when I was in college.
But this is the latest I ever have remembered that bowl game. It was a whole
It is
a whole nother. You know, it was awful.
Okay, so let's change it. Let's not wait 4 to 4 days. Let's wait 38 days.
I would rather have that.
Get out of here. Is that going to change much?
Tell me this.
LSU didn't prepare for that game.
Tell me this.
I'm not blaming the layoff. Both teams have the layoff. I'm not blaming that. Go ahead, Des.
Did the game live up to the billing that you thought it would live up to?
Absolutely not.
I didn't know. It was surprising because Alabama dominated, but I don't think it lived up to the billing. And honestly, I was mad at the commentators because they were saying it was the first time a team dominated like that in the championship game.
That's not true either.
And that's not true because Oklahoma beat the brakes off of Florida State.
Yes, they did.
In 2000. They scored 2 points, and that was a safety that Oklahoma gave them.
I would say of all the bowl games, that bowl game between Oklahoma State and Stanford, that was exciting. That was exciting. Did you guys catch that? That was exciting. That overtime stuff and the missed field goals by Stanford kind of reminded me of the missed field goals by Alabama and Tuscaloosa. That was a great game. You're going to compare games. The game during the regular season between LSU and Alabama, that one, the 9-6 game, that one was exciting. This one,
well, tell me this.
I think I took the dog for a walk. It was so exciting. I decided to leave the game and took the dog for a walk.
Was it more about the Alabama defense was just so good or the LSU offense was just so bad?
I think it was a combination of both. It just proved to me that Nick Saban had a better game plan going in and that Les Miles probably should have been willing to, the national championship. There's no tomorrow. What are you waiting for if the quarterback is not performing? He wasn't even attempting to go down the field. He wasn't making the attempt. I would have made the quarterback change at least for a series, see if it changed. He didn't. That's why they call him the Mad Hatter, I guess.
The Mad Hatter.
The Mad Hatter. And
he does stuff like that, though. He's that guy. He does that.
That's
he does
him.
things that
and it has worked for him 99% of the time, which is why he's where he's at.
Right.
All right. But you're to be yourself in that position. Bobby Hebert.
Bobby Hebert. When the
off.
last time has that name been mentioned?
Oh, every day this week.
He has
because
a showdown in New Orleans.
Nailed
Oh, he does. I forgot about that.
He nailed Les Miles in the press conference.
And he should have.
He got him.
He should have.
And you know what? Give credit to Les Miles. He stood there like a man. He took that question and he answered it. He didn't go, "What kind of question is that?"
Right.
How dare you ask me
but
that?
he's that guy. You know he's going to answer. He's not going to run away from it.
Oh, Ron Zook?
Yes.
Yeah, he got up and walked out and kept on walking.
Yeah, he kept walking. Walked right off of campus.
He couldn't walk fast enough.
But thank goodness we do have a system that works. The NFL playoffs is how it should be
and
done.
that's where it should be. I'd like to see it.
And we had some real good games this past weekend. We have some real good games coming up this weekend. But this is what it's going to come down to. We're going to probably get the answer to the question, does defense win championships?
Yes.
Because you got the New Orleans Saints, you got the Packers, and you got the Patriots. Three of the best offensive teams.
And three of the worst defensive, yes.
And then you have the 49ers, you have the Ravens,
Let's not
and
put,
you have
don't
the
put
Texans.
the Giants in there. Okay, good.
The Texans play solid, yeah.
Three of the best defenses.
They're really good.
Yeah. They're doing it with the third-string quarterback, yeah.
Oh, they're really good.
I think they're number 2, 3, and 4.
They're
Texans,
really
Ravens, 49ers.
Yeah. And the Giants, towards the end of the season, have really stepped it up, too. They're probably middle of the pack.
No, Giants is like 28.
No, at the end of the
Giants is
season.
gonna get-
At the end of the season. If you just give me the last, 4 weeks.
Okay. So tell me this.
I just said they stepped it up.
Is defense or offense going to win this championship?
Oh, are we making is this our making our pick segment?
No, I'm just saying go defensive offense or offense.
Wow. Well, and the thing is that, Baltimore and Houston, that's a defensive battle. They're both based on defense.
What do you call the Giants, though?
You call them a team that's up and down like Heckle and Jod. Yeah.
What?
Heckle.
I got
it.
And I said, yeah, because I know I messed up. And I knew you weren't going to let that go.
No, I can't let that go.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay, Jekyll and Hyde. Well, I think they're a pretty dang good offensive team. I don't think they're that good defense, but I think they can rush the passer. I'm picking. I got Green Bay. I think Green Bay going to beat the hell out of them.
So you're going offense?
No. To win the Super Bowl?
Go pick offense. I'm not even asking you to pick a team. Just pick offensive defense and win the Super Bowl.
God. I think it depends on who plays.
Offensive defense.
I can't do that.
Offensive defense.
Defense.
Oh my,
You're going with defense. It's going to be a
Defense.
defensive team that win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
When you say it's a defensive team, that means they don't give up points. Like the Alabama defense won that national championship game.
Okay.
Like that. You're not going to have a Super Bowl like that.
But is an offensive team or defensive team where their strength is at going to win the Super Bowl? Is this that hard of a question?
Yes, because if I say the Giants, then we don't know who to pick.
No, because on Sunday he's going to change his mind on Twitter.
hard
If I say the Giants, it's not going to happen.
On Sunday he's changing his mind on Twitter.
Okay, fine. Okay, I say.
Oh, you could just go with the Giants.
No, I think Green Bay is the best team, especially if they play home. I think they're the best team. They could be anybody at Lambeau.
All right, so let's break it down even further. Offense, defense. Saints or 49ers?
Now we're making the picks.
Boy.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with
Homer.
I'm going with San Francisco.
Woo!
You going with San Francisco?
My reason why.
Oh,
here we go.
Your buddy Drew Brees.
San Francisco, I mean, they know how I feel about them. I love the team. I thought they were great. They were great to me while I was down there, but when we had problems last year is when we couldn't run the ball and Drew had to throw the ball. They won't be able to run the ball this week at all.
Nice.
What people don't know is that New Orleans is like one of the top rushing teams in the league.
Exactly, they are.
Yes.
And San Francisco is one of the top teams that stopping the run. I think they'll stop the run and they can rush the quarterback. So not interior like the defense, like Detroit.
Detroit's all the tackles. Yeah.
Right. They can actually rush on the edge, and I think they'll get to him on the edge.
So what you're saying is that had Detroit had a better defensive end, they would have won.
And then no.
Yeah.
And then
I think they try to work one out.
And then with the defense, because the Saints defense, they've been struggling all year. They've been struggling, and they play the type of defense they play. they take so many chances. Alex Smith isn't the greatest quarterback, but if you give him one-on-one and he can see it, then, he can throw it up. Those guys
Alex
can go up
Smith
over
is
and
really
catch the
mature
ball.
this year under Jim Harbaugh's tutelage.
I don't really think so.
I don't either.
They play a nice, safe.
They run the
His
football.
turnovers. Look at his turnover number down.
Because they have a nice, safe game plan where they don't take
Good for
many
him.
chances.
And that's smart. Builds his confidence.
Yeah,
It's a system that's built to the talent you have rather than trying to do the other way,
But to say
rather than go Mike Martz.
You think they're better? You think San Francisco's better than they were last year?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
They're more prepared. They're
The
mentally
Saints-
with it. They got a better system.
The Saints were last year, we ended 6th in the league and 5th in the league in defense. I think we were a better team last year. And we went to San Francisco and played them and beat them by, I think, 2 points. Okay? It's hard to play out there. That defense is hard to play against. They're playing with a newfound confidence. They had no confidence when we played them last time. I'm going to take San Francisco.
That one shocked me.
I'm going with the Saints. I mean, I believe that the Super Bowl should be played, or if they were in two different conferences, it will be played by the Saints and the Packers. But they're in the same conference, so you can't have that. Those are the two best teams, and I see both of those teams making it to the NFC Championship game. So I got the Saints.
We're going to continue these picks, but remind me, I have a question. I want to come back. And we got a little Saint love in the area. I'm sure he's wishing he was in New Orleans right now and not in this white powder where you got here.
Sam Hurd.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go with the defense.
Oh,
I already told you defense is going to win. I can't switch and go to the Saints. If I believe defense is going to win, I got to pick it here. San Francisco 49ers takes it.
Patriots against the T-Bows. I'm going. I mean, this is once again. I'm gonna come out and say this is not gonna be even a close game.
Yeah, that worked well for you last week.
Hold on.
He said this last
I'm gonna
week
use
now.
what you say. The Patriots are gonna beat the brakes off the Broncos.
Brakes.
Yes.
The brakes will not fall off the Tebow bandwagon.
So you got Denver.
You're taking Denver
I
right
did
now.
not say that.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
I'm waiting on you. I'm giving you your opportunity.
What are you
to
even
pick
talking
here.
about? What do you think I'm going to take?
I have no idea.
Are you really? Really?
You just spoke some of that Sam Hurd.
Who are you
Seriously.
taking?
It is all Patriots. All day, nonstop, at home, in Gillette. It is all the Patriots.
Okay, now you have the floor.
I have.
I feel like, do we have the Jeopardy
taking-
music theme
Hey,
song? Do we have
I'm doing
Jeopardy
it on
queued up?
air.
Dun, dun,
I'm
dun,
taking
dun, dun,
the Denver
dun,
Broncos I am taking the Denver Broncos to win against the Patriots in Gillette Stadium, and watch everybody. Nobody gives Tebow credit for winning because he won't have a 316-yard passing game, but they will run the football. I mean, you'll see. You'll see. And don't stamp me as Nostradamus, okay? But I'm just telling you, okay?
Lord.
I'm just letting you know, all right? Don't stamp me.
Are you heckling chiding?
Just saying.
No, on Sunday on Twitter, if you heckle and chide and pick the New England Patriots,
not gonna happen.
All right,
not gonna happen. And everybody looks at me crazy, but the kid wins.
All right,
except for the 4 he lost.
Enough about Tebow.
So he lost 4 games. How many games Tom Brady lost?
Hey, next game. You
guys are.
You're talking about Tebow for the rest of the show.
These guys.
Okay,
the only team left is going to be Tebow, and they're going to have to talk about him then.
Yeah,
All right, let's go.
Next game.
Texans versus Ravens.
Texans go on the road to go to Baltimore, who has been undefeated at home
all year. Your turn.
My turn to go first. That's a no-brainer. Ray Rice.
No
defense? You said defense will win.
Yes.
Ravens.
Texans defense.
Running and defense will do
Ravens are number 4. Texans are number 2. So
yeah.
Texans defense can stop Ray Rice.
The Baltimore Ravens offense will make enough plays in order to give their defense more of a rest than the Texans defense will, and I think that will display as the game wears on. And you're going to see in the fourth quarter, Baltimore will put it away. Ravens.
Because they have who? Flacco? Yeah, right. I'm taking Texans.
Anquan Bolden is coming back.
Flacco, you don't even know which Flacco is going to show up. You have no idea. This guy, talk about Jekyll and Hyde.
Hyde and Jekyll.
Either one. Shoot. Guys, this kid, you have no idea who's going to show up for him during each game. So, no, I'm not taking them. He hasn't played in 2 weeks. The kid, he's been sitting on his butt. He's probably pulling a Sanchez, being lazy and whatever his teammates are talking
Woody.
about. Yeah, jeez. No, I'm taking the Texans. I think they can run the football. They can play great defense, and I think that's what wins in the NFL when it gets late and it gets cold. You got to be able to stop the run. You got to be able to run the football.
I'm taking it back to the crib. I'm going with Ray Lewis.
The crib getting old.
The crib still know how to play.
They played the same way when the crib wasn't in there.
Well, you know what? I didn't see that.
I think they're a step slower because he is in there, honestly.
Well, the crib going to lead this team to a victory. Ray Lewis will stop that running game of the Texans.
Did you see him mush? Did you see the Texans running back?
Arian Foster.
Arian Foster mushed the corner on the sideline.
Yeah.
Get out of my way. Oh, my. It was embarrassing.
He's not going to do to any of the Ravens people like that.
We'll see.
I'm
picking the Texans.
I got the Ravens.
That's 2 points. I'm up 2-0 on you right now.
All right.
Actually, you up 1 from last week because you flip-flop. You got 1 game on me and Ryan.
The way it should be. I step up my game in the playoffs.
I thought we all.
No, you thought. Don't thought.
Man, you went 2 for 2. 2-2.
Yeah.
He went 3-1 because he switched.
Who did he switch? Because he switched to the we're going to give him the Denver, even though he said on the show Pittsburgh.
He went to the T-Balls.
What? You're not going I switched
the video evidence says Pittsburgh.
So I didn't switch it? You're not going to be honest? Honestly, integrity. Come on, integrity.
Well,
characters when nobody's watching. Characters when nobody's watching.
Hold on, like 30 minutes before the game, and I can see, Ben Roethlisberger gimping around. You got to, and all of a sudden Ryan Clark's now playing.
Let's check the video. I said he was hurt. I said he was hurt on Thursday. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to make any of my picks. Check my Twitter. Come on, seriously?
Hey, maybe we should get some more followers.
Giants versus Packers.
Giants, Packers.
Hey, I already told you who I have. This is the best team in the NFL playing against the team that is probably playing the best football in the NFL. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a tough game. But they
played in the regular season, and that was a good game, but it was in New York.
And they won by a field goal.
But it was in New York.
Yeah, with time running out.
Touchdown.
A field goal with time running out.
And it was another one of those amazing last-minute moves by Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And, hey, Eli did well, too. That was a
great
game.
Give me Aaron Rodgers. Give me the Packers.
I'm taking the best team, playing the best. I mean, I think the Giants can beat them. I don't think they will. So I'm taking Green Bay. I think as long as it stays in Green Bay, they'll represent the NFC.
Eli Manning has been performing amazingly this year, 5,000 yards.
So you're going with the Giants? You're going with the Giants?
Fourth quarter, more touchdowns than any quarterback in history. Aaron Rodgers hasn't played a game in 3 weeks.
He's going with the Giants.
He is. We're going to hear but. There we go. I knew we was going to hear it.
The Green Bay system and Mike McCarthy, I think, is just a better coach than Tom Coughlin.
It's the system.
It's a better system.
It's a better system.
Somebody has to call the play.
Yeah, I just said Mike McCarthy is a better coach than Tom Coughlin. I just said that. And I will continue to say that. If I was hiring,
both of them won a Super Bowl.
Both of them won a Super Bowl. But I think that right now, Mike McCarthy is going to do a lot more than Tom Coughlin. I'm going to go with Green Bay.
And there it is.
There we go. We finally agree.
The first time in a long time, and we all picked this.
I think that's one of the first.
Well, we all picked Pittsburgh last week.
We all
did last week.
Yeah, on film, but before the game, one of us got smart.
It's called integrity.
That is true.
What you just told him. What you do when people are not looking.
That is true.
You cannot flip flop.
I will not flip flop again.
With your picks.
I really appreciate you being that. I really appreciate you being stand up guy and let me appreciate seeing that I did switch.
I'm going to sit down instead.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be
sit down guy.
I'm a sit down guy.
And we appreciate y'all sitting down with us.
Can I give a shout out to something that happened today?
Yes.
I'm representing tonight. We got our Blackhawks.
We did have
4 guys would have made the All-Star team. Unfortunately, Patrick Sharp. Mm-hmm. They're talking an upper body injury. We're talking about a broken bone in his wrist. He would have made the All-Star team. So give it out to our captain, Jonathan Tays, Patrick Kane, and Marian Hossa. Happy birthday, Marian Hossa, by the way. All made it to the All-Star team. And they're going to put a W on the board against Minnesota tonight with Ray Emery in net.
Yes, sir. And we can't forget about Stahlberg's hat trick.
Victor Stahlberg in the hat trick was awesome. Yep. First career hat trick. He has scored more than half of his goals in the season against the Columbus Blue Jackets. It's like if he could play the Columbus Blue Jackets, he would probably break Wayne Gretzky's scoring record of 92 goals.
Too bad he don't play them every game.
I have something. Here we go. Listen to this.
You have some hockey knowledge you're going to drop?
I don't have any hockey. I have something that was very alarming to me when I was looking at the NBA votes for All-Star
now
vote.
back to NBA.
I wanted to put this out.
It's all about LeBron James here. Here he goes.
No, not LeBron. No, I'm not talking about LeBron at all. I'm actually talking about Dwight Howard. He's leading the league with, I think, 765,000 votes.
Yeah.
The center that's in second place.
Joakim Noah.
Yeah.
Isn't that embarrassing for the league?
No.
He's not really playing well. He's got 7 points.
What's embarrassing is that he has 75,000 votes. Dwight Howard is leading by 700,000 votes?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
All right. Well,
you kidding me?
Name me a center.
700.
Give me a center. Tell me a center.
This is Chicago.
Yeah, give me a center.
75,000 people can vote for him in the next 2 minutes. 75,000?
Name me another center in the NBA right now. This is the issue. We've gone away from a big man league. There's no Shaquille O'Neal anymore. You know, who are you going to vote for? Bill Russell? Shaquille O'Neal?
But geez, okay, you can't vote
Dikembe Mutombo?
Okay, you can't
Patrick
only vote
Ewing?
for one person.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez, I mean, yeah,
my point
people
is,
in there.
it's not.
I thought it was
you can
amusing.
vote for more than one person.
I thought it was amusing that he was
Chicago,
losing.
we should be voting, but Chicago shows their morals. Joakim Noah hasn't been playing well and really doesn't deserve to be voted there with the way he's playing right now.
Well,
we're only like 13 games into the season. We're only 13 games into the season.
You knew it was going to be like that. I mean, it's a shortened season. I mean, it's going to be quick.
You got something for us?
Yes, I do have something for you. Look. You like chili? I like chili. You like chili?
I love eating chili.
You like chili.
I don't like being around Alex after he eats it, though.
Yeah.
You don't. You really don't.
Not a gas.
You really don't.
You can come out and meet me, Des Clark. And if you two want to come out, too, you can come out and meet Alex Brown. And
I don't want to come out and meet Dallas.
But that's if you want to come out. At the Chili Challenge.
Meet the show hosts.
At the Chili Challenge. It's going to be at the, what is that? The shop?
Shop the Arboretum.
Yes,
SB.com.
I would let you know that I didn't know how to pronounce that.
Arboretum is a place where they have trees and plants. It's a really wonderful thing.
I know
Shop the Arboretum,
Mm-hmm.
SB.com.
Go there to find out what's happening. You can vote for the best chili coming out on February 12th. Come out and hang out with me and vote on the chili and the Chili Challenge. And also, before we go, I would like to say that you can be a hero. You know how they could be a hero?
You can help a child from adolescence to adulthood.
They could be a mentor. You go to www.88ways.com, and that's the number 88, WAYZ.com. Hit the Get Involved tab, then click the Become a Mentor button and download and fill out the application and fax it back to 88 Ways, and you can help a kid shape his world, or 3 kids shape their worlds. We're all involved here, so why aren't you involved? Get involved. Be a hero, be a mentor. And we thank y'all for coming out, and we enjoyed you guys. We hope that you
Thanks for
enjoyed
braving
us.
the snow, kids.
Thanks for driving all the way from Milwaukee.
Really appreciate that.
Thank you, everybody else who came out
I can't blame you for leaving Milwaukee. Have a good night.
Thank you.